Hey, Katrina here from Scrappy Horses. Welcome to my YouTube channel and Happy New Year. Here's hoping that this new year brings you a lot of joy and great peace. Well, speaking of the new year, I needed a new calendar journal. So that is what this video is all about. It's not really a tutorial as much as it's sort of an overview of the things that I did to make this book. Some of it I'm going to race through pretty quickly, so if there are any comments or questions, please leave them below. I started with cereal box board. I have two pieces that I actually have cut to 6 by 9. Now, each of these pieces is a double cereal board, so there are actually 4 pieces here, not just 2. Right now, these boards are cut to 9 inches by 6 inches. And again, there are 4 pieces of cereal board. I've glued 2 together, and then I've taken 2 more pieces and glued them together. I'm going to go ahead and bring in some double score tape, and I'm going to start adhering around all 4 edges on 3 sides. So the front cover I have put it on, the back of the front cover I have put it on, the back of the back cover, but not the inside. I've left that alone. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to ink up some of my papers. Once that's done, I'm going to come in and remove the backing from the double score tape, add some ATG, and some fabric tack that helps me in case I need some wiggle room there. And I'm going to start adhering some of those beautiful papers from close to my heart, and they were from the SkyLark collection. Obviously, it's all out of print now. I'm going to take my covers and trim them to 8.75 by 5.75. These pieces are going to go on the edge of the book. It's going to stabilize for where I bind the book. I'm going to use a cinch binding system for it, so I just wanted the edges to be a little thicker. All right, coming in, inking a few more pieces of paper here, and inking around the edges where I trimmed. Now I'm going to start inking some embellishments and putting those onto the front. I just wanted a little added extra something here on the front. It's the very same piece. I just cut it and re-glued it. Now I'm bringing in a few other pieces. These are all from Close to My Heart SkyLark collection. I have the sticker pack as well as some of the chipboard pieces. All right, we're going to come in now and we're going to add that, the double score tape that is, to the backs of this piece of paper. Again, I'm adding some fabric tack that gives me that wiggle room so it won't adhere right away and I can move it. I'm going to start laying this out and just kind of get an idea of what this is going to look like. I'm going to add some ribbon to this little embellishment piece. I can never remember if I want to go in from the front or the back when I do that sort of knot. Seems like whichever I do, I want the other one. All right, we're going to add these little flowers, again, Close to My Heart, retired. And I did color those up a little bit with a Copic marker, just to give them a little more depth. This piece I cut with my Cricut, and it went underneath the sticker, and I glued that to the edge. All right, here we are now adding the double score tape to those pieces that are going to go along the spine of the book where we're going to bind it. Now, let me tell you, I put that in before I added a pocket. I also, on this pocket, added a chipboard piece. I would not do that again because when I went to punch the holes with my Cinch machine, it was hard. So I would not use chipboard on that again. Just a little heads up on that. All right, we're going to start adding those. And again, I'm just adhering them to one side. And you do note that they're a little bit longer. I need to cut those off. We're going to let those dry. And then we're bringing them over to the cinch. The cover measures 8.75 by 5.75, and this little strip measures 0.5 by 8.75. At this point, we have already adhered the strip to the covers. I'm going to open up the cinch here, and I'm going to move that little tray 2 clicks to the left. So there's 1, 2. Now I'm going to put my piece in, making sure that it lines up on the side and goes against the back of the machine, and I punch. Now I'm going to pull knobs 5 through 12. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to line it up again and just punch those 4 remaining holes. All right, now I have all the holes that I need in my cover. I have to do that twice, to the front and back. For the pages, they measure 8.5 by 5.5. I put the machine back to just normal, and I punch all 12 holes. Now, I'm going to pull this tray all the way out, and I'm going to pull punch 5. I'm just pulling that out. Now, with the paper, with the pages, I had to go in then and line them up on the right at the 8 7/16 mark. And that was a scant 8 7/16 mark. Okay, so just almost to that mark. Okay, then I put it in and I punched again. All right, it took me some trial and error to figure out exactly where I wanted all the punches to be. So that's why I'm giving you these very exact measurements. So let's close this up and let's see if it works. Spoiler alert, it did. But, you know, it's always fun to just double check it here, right? So I'm lining this up, and you can see here that yes, the holes meet exactly. So I had to punch all the pages, and you can't punch them all at once, obviously, so it takes a little bit of time to do that. I'm going to lay these here, so if you're interested, you can always screenshot it, and then you'll have that information for later. All right, moving on. Now it's time to do some more decorating. So we're going to speed up again. I'm pulling in some stickers and just sort of inking off the edges there and putting them in over the pocket. Here's the sticker sheet from SkyLark, and I'm bringing those little flowers back. Some of the things I have on here are from Wildwood. This is another paper pack from Close to My Heart, and it sort of coordinates. The live, this adventure, the live part, the letters came from EK from Sticko, or I think that's right, Sticko. And then the 2026, I cut that on my Cricut, and all of that information will be in the box below. This adventure, that came from the sticker sheet from SkyLark. All right, I'm bringing in my double stick tape, and again, my Fabri-Tac. You're going to see me slip and slide this around quite a bit, actually, getting it exactly where I like it. There, you saw a big slip there, and that's okay because it doesn't show. I'm going to use my Barely Arch glue to put in my numbers and my stones into the flowers. Now you might wonder, why does she keep putting the paper over the book as she does this? Well, number one, it's a nice photography trick so you can see. But really the reason I did it is because I'm notorious for dropping things with tweezers. So I didn't want the glue to fall on the wrong place and then make a mark on the book. So there you go. That's the real reason. This piece was from Memo Assortment, Close to My Heart. This was Picture My Life in Full Bloom. And this one was from the Wildwood collection. We're going to make a little clip here. And I'm just taking my paper clip, gluing it onto the wooden flower. And we're going to set that aside. This Envision piece is from Joanne Fabrics. Again, no longer around. And it's going to take 6 holes, so I'm going to stick that in my cinch machine. And I'm just going to pull stop number 7 and just punch that right down. And I'm going to add that to my book. Now I'm adding the clip to the wooden piece. And then when I fold that over, it will create a book clip. I'm coming in now with this Zutter And this is the wire. I like this color. It's called Antique Gold. So that's why I went with Zutter, because they had that antique gold. I'm going to lay the wire into the cinch machine there on the side. There's a place to put it. I put all of my pages in, and you'll notice I forgot my first page and my little piece that I just hole punched. It's okay, I fixed it later. Now I'm going to lay in my front cover face side up. Now I lay in my back cover the other way. So it is wrong side up. So let's review that one more time, because this is always confusing to me. So I'm going to say it one more time just in case you didn't catch it. Pages right side up. Then the book front right side up. Then the book back wrong side up. All right, we're going to lift this as a stack, and we're going to cut off the excess wire. Once the excess wire is cut off, then we lay it inside the cinch machine. Now first, you want to make sure that you're using the correct dimension, and they're right there. And you can see here, this is a 3/4 wire. I used a 1/2 inch wire last year for last year's book. I wanted more room this year. So you can use that little knob and move it right to 3/4, push down as far as it goes, and you're done basically. Don't push hard. You don't need to bend your wires, you just need to close it off. You'll notice that it closes off between the last page and the back cover. So here we go. Let's just take a walk through. Here you can see that I did fix it. I put my Envision and my first page in the book. There's my pocket. So I have that. Then we have the little Envision piece and my first page there with my clip. Then you'll notice on the right side that I have the dates in. I didn't show you that part, but I just made the little tabs in Cricut Design Space, and then I just glued them in. Actually, I used tape runner and just put them in. Remember, we did nothing on the back page. That's because I wanted my school schedules back there, my school calendars. So I just typed in the edge, and I can still slide things behind that area. All right, and there again at that back cover, you can see that that's where the wires closed off. All right, any comments or questions, please leave them below. I know this was a really fast video. We went through a lot in this. So if you do have some comments or questions, I'd love to hear them. Again, the happiest of years ahead to you, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Bye.